Hi there again, Josie here from Life at 50 and Beyond. Thanks again for joining me here in my channel. I've decided today to show you my budget or financial planner. I've been using this, I believe, since late quarter of last year. Prior to that, I have been using such a crude method, and a lot of our paperwork are separated, and over time I have accumulated probably several folders, and it can get really chaotic or confusing. So what I have done here is that I have been able to put a binder together that works well for my family, for my family's needs. Like I mentioned before, it's not only for we also run our home-based bakery business, and I have been incorporating in our planner, since we utilize the income coming from there to supplement our current income with our full-time jobs. So this, my hope for showing you, this is a walkthrough, not necessarily a DIY. What I'm hoping to accomplish here is at least give you some idea, and maybe you can pick up a thing or two that you can utilize on your own budget or finance planner binder. So I think it's almost always necessary that you need to use something really, for this one, thick and standard size. Probably if you don't have a lot of financial obligations or anything you want to do, maybe you're starting out, you're young, perhaps you can do away with just probably a mini binder, and then eventually, as time goes on, you will be using a standard size or bigger binder. Let's get started here, and I just want to show you what I have here. This was from an old photo album, so that's an idea there. If you want something really thick, and binders can be costly as well if you buy them. We had this for years now. I still have this original tag here. Doesn't have the price, but I think we got this from Walmart, and it comes already with the photograph pages, the one that you peel off the plastic and then you just stick the photos. I have since filed those photos somewhere else on another more acid-free photo album, and I'm still going to reuse some of the pages on future projects. However, this one here really works a lot, because a lot of the times the binders that you get there have just half the width or the depth of this big binder that I got, that I'm reusing. And furthermore, it matches the color that I really like. These two colors are my top favorite colors. Anyway, what I did here, and you've seen on my walkthrough on my shabby chic mini Daiso planner, I used the tag that I got from the Michael's $1.50 bin. This comes in 24 count, and I just used one, and there's a hole here because it's supposed to be a gift tag, so there's a hole here, so I just put this cutout of a paper flower, and then of course our last name initial. I used one of the head wraps or headband that I got from the Dollar Tree, and it complements well on the collar, and just to keep it together, put them together, I just use this. So opening up the binder, again, look at this, how huge this is. I think this is a couple of inches thick. I've used the back cover of my daughter's old notebook as the pouch divider. Right now I kind of just put it like a front. I know it's narrower than the other pages, but I just like the design so much, so I'm keeping it here for now. And the next a few pages that I put in plastic inserts are our password log information. Of course, I put some page flags here and some empty envelopes in case I need to pay in check, in case I need to pay by check, or I need to set aside some receipts or information there, and I have some extra page flags here. I have put clothespin here because, again, for security purposes, or these are sensitive security information. Of course, if I put it out there on the internet, then everybody else will have our password information, obviously. So this is called household password log. So it shows, so that you can see closer what it would contain. The household password log contains, the first column shows account or company, the web address, username, and password. Our household, I am the one in charge of paying all the bills, so it's better and more centralized. It's easier to track them if I use our own bank, where we put our checking account, where we have our checking account, where we have our joint checking account, my husband and I. And that's where also I transfer some of the earnings from our business, and that's where I log the payments. That's where I process the payment. And what's good about that, I can see overall where the money goes. Even though I set up automatic payment, it's still good to really keep track of your balances, especially if you have multiple accounts. This form, by the way, I got this for free. It's from I should be mopping the floor.com, and I will be putting the link down below. She has different styles here. This one's the dotted one. I think she also have the lines style, but I chose the dotted colorful one. Okay, so I keep them here because, again, I need to check them on a monthly basis. I do have this annual bill schedule. Now, I used to have it in an insert as well. However, I keep flipping it, or I keep removing it every time I do the bill, because I do the bills, I check the bills weekly. Because some bills are, they don't, unfortunately, no matter how much you schedule your bill payment, some of them don't fall in the same week, some of them don't fall on the same day each month. So as much as possible, we try to keep track of them. Now, the good thing about this annual bill schedule that I put in a folder, I keep it loose so that I can go to each, whenever I do the bill payment, and whenever it's due, that's where I look for it. Because this is my guide so that I don't miss any bills. But I show this to the family, we have a review of our bills and our expenses, and I talk to them about it. Now, this form came from another site, again for free. Both forms are copyrighted to the owners. This one is copyrighted organizinghomelife.com. And again, if you're using this, use it for personal use. You can download it for sure, but for free without paying anything. So this is the day of the month the bill is due, and then these are where I put the bills names, and then these are the months, and there are boxes. So what I do here is I don't only do a check. You can just do a check so that it keeps you in track and say, okay, I made the payment already. But for what I do here is I put the amount as well. And you may wonder why. Okay, you can put the monthly amount here. What's good about that is you keep track also of how you spend money, and if the monthly payment goes up or goes down, and you can incorporate that in your budgeting. It is also good when you're tracking down utility bills or insurance bills, because sometimes they go up too. So you can compare also each month. Okay, wow, it went up to the, of course, knowing that the companies will let you know anyway, but you can tell here, you can put here, okay, next month my bill would be 150 instead of 145 from last month. So I put it here too. So typically what I get, again, I put I fit it in here, I put the amount, and then when I paid it, I put a check mark. Okay, so I will show that later on again how I do that with my my budget. I have a divider here which I have titled Budget, Calendar, and To-Dos. So this is our year on a page, and this includes the birthdays, the paydays, Jessica X Project, which is our home-based baking business, and then the Fed California tax return. Of course, I have codes here. I don't only just use highlighters or colored pencils, but I have shapes to code. The birthdays are hearts, the paydays are circles. In green ink, the hearts will be this color, you know, and so on and so forth. So I only mark the ones that are really, really something that is out of the ordinary, or it's not something that happens on a monthly basis. Birthdays, paydays is regular, but of course I just want to keep them there because it's standard Jessie Cakes project. I put a diamond or here just to kind of remind me on anything that's due. And then the prep tax for our property, we have a rental property, and I just want to make sure that the property tax for our rental property, I should remind myself when they're due. And then of course our trip to the Philippines. And I have some just a few pages of ruled paper here, just in case I need to write down some notes. And what's good about this, using this opaque or durable plastic dividers with, you know, label tabs built in, is that it can protect. It doesn't have a pouch, okay, but the purpose of this one's just to divide the page. Is a page marker. And you can decorate it the way you want to, if you want to do that. However, I love to leave it plain and then just print on a paper cardstock things that I find inspirational. Now you can actually probably just use this as a divider and laminate it, but I opted not to because I want the option to replace it each time. And if you could see here, it pertains to, because the first tab here, or the second tab, because the first tab was the calendar, but the second tab is budget and scheduled payments. And I put here, you know, something to kind of get you inspired, something to inspire you. You can find it online, put it in the center of a Word doc, and then print it and use colored printer. It says here, budget tells us what we can afford and helps us plan on buying it. So that's what's good about budget, right? And that's the goal, right? We don't want to go overboard. Okay, next one, I am showing you exactly what I have. So on this tab, I also have each month, you know, the goal or the focus. For example, here the monthly focus is reduce expenses and find ways to save. And then special dates, ADT home security, and then I pay them every 3 months. And I got this from scatteredsquirrel.com. I believe I have shared her link already. I have shared her link already on previous tutorials on my binders, because I use her for my calendar printables. As much as possible, I don't want to buy the printables because I can use whatever type of paper. It could be more durable than the ones they come in, or a little thinner, if it depends on my preference. And this one is in January, and it shows here special dates, top 3 things, homekeeping task, and then goals for the month. And I have a checklist, so I should be checking this because they're done, and then notes. So for example, on this one, I said here on my monthly focus, reduce expenses and find ways to save. That's obvious for a lot of people who are trying to save money, right? And then special dates, I put here January 5, 2016, the ADT home security times 3, because I pay every 3 months, $149.34. So that for each month, I already look at that. Because again, this is billed every 3 months. That's the reason why it's here. I'm not putting each one here because others are all monthly. And for this particular month, I'll be paying this ADT home security. My top 3 things are start setting aside for our church year-end Thanksgiving, and then organize/balance budget sheet, and then homekeeping task, organize financial planner, allocation/adjustments on 401k, so that's our company's retirement, and then life insurance review, last will and testament, and finalize and notarize, prepare tax docs for filing, you know, because it's January, and of course filing is April. Yeah, this has been passed already. It's notary going for the wills. And then notes to cut down on eating out. We need to eat at home more often. In order to do so, we need to cook more, save them as freezer meals. So I've been talking about, I think I talked about freezer meals in one of my holes. And that's one of the this is one of the reasons why we want to cut down on our eating out, so we're doing freezer meals. No more shopping for clothes for January. So if you want to do that as a goal, if you normally would buy clothing every month, my daughter goes through clothes quite a few because again, she's still growing, even though she's in college. And of course, she also needs, because she's been losing weight a lot, so she needs to also replace a lot of her clothing. So, but you know, I will tell her sometimes that, okay, for this month, no clothes. And I even put here, no more Coach bags ever. I have all the bags that I need. And of course, needs versus wants. Okay, I buy Coach bags, but I do buy them from the factory outlet. I don't buy them at full price, even at the factory discounted price. I wait for their sale. So just want to let you know there. And then goals for the month: cut down on eating out, don't spend on clothing, accessories, cook more and eat at home, pay down credit cards long term, but starts this every month. Okay, most of our cards are paid off whenever we use them, but there's probably 2 or 3 that we keep a balance on. We've had those cards for a while, so I'm going to be showing also some method that we do. I don't know if you've heard about Dave Ramsey. And there are a lot of YouTubers that are really talking about the Dave Ramsey method, the steps. So we utilize some of his steps. We're not strictly following the rules that he has for a reason. I'll explain that later, after maybe on another video. But yeah, we have some processes that we do. And then here, generate additional income, Jessica X Project, blogging, YouTube, Solar City referral. Now that's our solar. We have solars through Solar City, and they have referral programs. So we have made some money already through referrals. I think they pay around $200 per or $250 per referral. And then paper crafting, because sometimes I sell them. And these are just the two-page calendar that I have, and this one is where I mark when the bills are due. I don't have to show you each one of them because that's self-explanatory, and basically those are just our items. I want to bore you with them. Now the next page would be for the actual and where with information about payments. And let me just show you. Let's go as far as I'll show you December, because what I've been doing is I've been using this old school spreadsheet, the paper form that I got from Walmart. I don't remember anymore how much I paid for it, maybe around $3, and it comes in a booklet like this in several pages. So these are ruled, and this is really made for, you know, as in tracking your finances. So what I do here is that I label the top here scheduled expenses from 12/3 to 12/16. 16 is a payday, so that's why I put here, I put it, you know, from the day after the last payday to the payday that's upcoming, the next payday. And what I do here is, I'm sorry, because I often pre-populate already for several months, and then this one goes to category, and then amount, and then date, and then cleared. So here's the category, whatever the expense is for. I put oftentimes, let's say, the company, and then the amount I paid, and then the date I paid it, and then when it cleared from our bank account. So going back again, that's why I have this sheet with me when I do our bills, the annual bill schedule, so that I know, okay, between 12/3 and 12/16 what's due, because the day of the month that it's due, that falls in between the 3rd and the 16th of December, those are the ones that I'll be paying on this page. Okay, so that's where I categorize them. And then I put a total here, and then at the back, I have here, because the front page is scheduled expenses, then I put here unscheduled expenses. And that happens on a lot of families, right? Unscheduled expenses from the same date. In as much as possible that we want everything, we already know how much, but sometimes there are unscheduled expenses. For example, we use our PayPal account to buy, let's say, gas. Although we know we're going to be spending on gas, but we don't necessarily know when and how much each time. I think I'm going to be improving on that. I think there may be a way for us to reassess our gas usage. But until that happens, I have to put here the unscheduled expenses. These are the items that come up that we didn't, that are not recurring. Okay, these are the recurring or scheduled expenses. And again, the category, amount, date, and cleared. Okay, and usually also whenever I go to each page, this is where I put my paycheck amount, and then let's say paycheck number 1, and there's paycheck number 2, and then between my husband and I, and then also the business, Jesse Cakes, and then of course the rent money from our rental company, from our rental property, and then we put the total here, and then this is where the starting balance would be. For example, it's a total of 10,000, just an example, whatever our total here. For example, let's just put the number here, 4,4,1,1, and then total 10,000, and that will be my starting point here. So if I total it here, I should stay within budget and to be able to still keep. And of course, oh sorry, instead aside from that, I do add the carryover from last month or from last pay period, from the last time I did the bill. So for example, I have a carryover of 2,000 left over, so this will be 12,000. That will be my starting point to base my budget on. So let's say bill A, I have $50. And the date is 12, it's due 12/5. That's the date, you know, it's fictitious. And then it cleared 12/8, you know, the good. And then I put a check mark here when it clears, and then I put the date. So that's how I do it. And so on and so on. And then whatever the total here, I put at the back here for the breakdown of scheduled. And then this is the unscheduled. And then I put a total of the two. Okay, so A and B. We got A plus B is the total. And then of course our total money to begin with here, let's say 12,000 minus, let's say the total here is 5,000, and this one is 1,000, 6,000 minus from, yeah, so that's 6,000, which will be our carryover for the next pay period. So that's kind of how I do it. Again, these are just fictitious numbers. And okay, so that's how I do that. Again, it depends on our payday, so we schedule it as much as possible together. It's based off of on my payday because my husband's pay period is more irregular than mine, so I base it on mine. And then whatever pay he gets in between that falls into any one of them, then we can add as we go. So my next tab is debts, liabilities. These are examples of our credits. Okay, so this is where I put the credit card bills, and then it's a blank form, and that's where I put the creditor, the balance, available limit, the availability, the limit, the minimum payment, paid amount, and due date. I guess from all of this, probably only half we have remaining balance on. And this one is our debt reduction tab, debt reduction plan tab. This is where I put the strategies, and it's good about this. I found this again online, sometimes Pinterest. You can find them, but what I do is just search them via Google, and then there are a lot of things that pop up here. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So for us, you know, on our financial journey, which began roughly, I would say, 2014, because it's now 2016. So I have been trying to improve on our expenses. We don't get too carried away when we have credit card offers. We try not to take them. But yeah, so this one, these are our strategies. And again, this one I cannot really share because these are more personal stuff, but I have this snowball thing that I've been planning, and it's a 5-year plan that by 5 years we will be totally debt free, hopefully including our homes paid off. And these are the goals, and I've reached a lot of these goals already. Strategies for 2016. And you know, for now we're setting aside a certain amount for savings. And this is where I also was watching some of the life care video from our company and about debt management. So I was writing down the notes here that I picked up, and you know, I just don't want this video to be too long, that maybe another segment each time that I'm probably gonna write down what we did. Because if I'm just going to repost or mention here what this tutorial from another company did, then I'm just kind of plagiarizing, right? So I don't want to do that. But I want to show what worked with us, what we've used, and what worked. And hopefully you can also pick up some valuable items there, or tips. So anyway, the next one is savings, investments, and assets. And here, I just put here, possibility everywhere. Yep. And of course, I put some decorative paper. Again, I kind of put away some of the items here already. But I put here also our annual summary of our expenses. And then also here, I have some inserts that are in plastic inserts about things that I think I can be inspired with. Procrastination versus productivity. Putting off work may cost your business. That's how our budget binder, financial tracker, planner looks like. And hopefully you got some tips and you learned something here, and let me know. Again, this is Josie from Life at 50 and Beyond. Hopefully you are on your way to financial freedom, and please subscribe, like, comment down below, and talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.